Welcome back. Today we are going to breathe and flow through a very gentle restorative practice. So today, whenever you're practicing, we'll have 2 yoga blocks. I suggest having a bolster or a pillow and a blanket as well if you have a blanket. So we're going to be starting in one of my favorite shapes. If you practice with me, you know I say that about every single shape, but this is definitely one of my favorites. So you're going to bring your block and it's going to be on the medium height. So you're going to place it right at the back of your mat. And then your head is going to be resting on this block. So the back of your skull will be there. In this shape, some people prefer to have their knees bent with the soles of the feet down on the mat, and others prefer to have their legs extended out long. That's why I have the bolster here. I personally like my legs extended out, but I want to protect my low back by bringing the bolster beneath my knees. And then I'm also going to find a blanket here. Hopefully yours is a little bit thicker, but I'm going to place it right over my hips just for a bit of some extra grounding. In the fall time, even the tiniest gestures of grounding our body appreciates. So I like to bring a gentle blanket, and that's going to go right over my hips. So take your time to start to get settled in, find all of the props that you may need. And then once you start to kind of get cozy, I also recommend socks. Socks are great. I like fuzzy socks, but any type of cozy sock is nice. So setting your blankets, your props up. I want to make sure that you guys can see me here. Okay. Yeah, so it takes a little bit of time. All right, you guys can see me great. To get settled in. If you have hair, I like to kind of bring my hair over the block. And then once you land in the shape that you've chosen, so either your knees are bent, soles of the feet are on the mat, or your legs are extended with some sort of support beneath the knees to protect the low back. I'm going to invite you to either bring your palms right on top of your belly or allow your palms to rest down by your side. Maybe rotating the palms up just to find that gentle gesture of receptivity, of being receptive to the present moment and the practice. I like to start all of my classes and sessions with just a solidifying deep breath. So as you're ready here, we'll start to fill the belly, the ribs, the chest. And then just with an open mouth sigh, just let all of that breath out. Notice how your body is responding to that first intentional breath. And then if you've closed your eyes down, I'm going to ask you and invite you to open your eyes back up. Keeping your gaze up at the ceiling ahead of you. Have a gentle gaze. And just begin to, without moving the head, start to observe the ceiling or whatever is ahead of you. Maybe you're outside and there's a sky or anything that is right above you. Without moving any part of your body, just starting to take in the colors of the ceiling or the sky, the textures of the things that you're looking at. Maybe even noticing if there's a certain energy or aura to what it is you're looking at. Maybe noticing what stands out right away versus what seems kind of soft and subtle. I'm looking at the corner of the wall and the ceiling and just noticing what that texture is, the contrast in color and light. And then as you're ready, just take a deep breath. Start to fill belly, ribs, chest. Open the mouth and sigh out. And then gently begin to slowly allow your left cheek to come towards the block here. Keeping your gaze open, your eyes open. Now softly just starting to, without moving the head, just letting the left side of your cheek be nice and heavy. See if you can start to observe what it is that you're looking at. Notice what colors have entered your field of vision, what textures are new, the objects that you're looking at. Maybe there's a pet or a person or anything else that may be different. And depending on if you're in your own home, sometimes looking around the house can kind of spark maybe feelings of anxiety or stress of, oh, I need to tend to that or clean that, or I forgot about that. Just kind of notice what thoughts arise based on what it is that you're looking at. Don't judge the thoughts. See if you can just welcome them in, notice the thoughts, and then just return back to observing the qualities, the textures of what it is that you're looking at. Maybe notice the sensation of the left side of the head, kind of heavy on that block. Maybe you notice the subtle sensation of the right side shoulder and neck starting to open and release. And then take a deep breath in through your nose and a deep breath out. And then slowly bring your gaze back through center, very gently. Take a moment to pause, keeping your eyes open. Just notice how one side of your neck feels versus the other. And then as you're ready, you're going to bring your right cheek down, gazing off towards the right. And your eyes are open. And you're just, again, taking in the sensations, the textures, the colors, the different objects that you're seeing on this side. And welcoming them in without attaching to maybe the thoughts or the feelings that may arise from looking at certain things. See if you can keep your attention on the visuals of the textures, the colors. If you notice an energy to an object, see if you can keep it as that. Notice if it's a happy energy, maybe abundant, maybe there's sad energy, right? Objects hold energy, so just notice. Maybe it's neutral energy. I'm looking at a phone charger. Maybe you notice on this side the gentle release of any tension held on the left side of your neck and shoulder. And then take a deep breath in through your nose. Deep breath out. And then slowly, as you're ready, bring your gaze back through center. Feel the head nice and neutral. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Widen your gaze. And then like you're tucking in a newborn or a young child, just slowly start to close the eyes down very, very gently. And as the eyes close down, see if you can focus your attention on the space right beneath the opening of the nostrils, the upper lip. And see if you can focus your attention on the sense of touch, of texture, of feeling. Noticing what the breath feels like as it enters your nose and how it feels as it exits the nose. The sensation of the breath just ever so slightly moving and pressing against the upper lip as it enters the nose is so subtle that 99.99% of us won't be able to actually feel that sensation. But I'm inviting you to try. See if you can really feel the breath moving against the upper lip in through the nose. And then notice if that texture changes at all as you exhale out through the nose. Beautiful. Now, as the breath enters your nose, on the next inhale, see if you can start to follow the breath. See if you can notice where the breath moves in between the breath in and then the breath out. How does the breath move in through the body? See if your mind's eye can observe the breath like you're watching a show or something on the television, right? You're observing the breath, moving in through the nose, following it as it moves in through the body. And notice the path it takes to get through your chest, your ribs, your belly. And then notice how it feels and how it travels out to the body as well. The trail of the breath. See if your mind's eye can observe and watch that trail, the path. Maybe as a result, you start to feel the belly, the ribs, and the chest starting to expand and fill. Something that has been happening this entire time, we just weren't focusing our attention on that. Beautiful. Now I want you to think about directing your breath, directing the path of your breath. And I want you to begin to direct your breath right to the space where the back of your head meets the block. So as the breath moves in through your nose, I want you to direct and bring the breath just as it enters the belly into the back of your skull, the back of your head. And then as you exhale, that breath moves from the back of your head out through your nose. few rounds of breath like that, just using your mind's eye to direct your breath in through the nose, through the head, the mind, the brain, to the back of your head. And then exhale out through the nose. Now, with your attention in the mind and the head, you may be quite aware of thoughts. You may notice your monkey mind trying to take you away from your breath, away from your focal point. So what we're going to do is we're just going to continue to breathe in through our nose to the back of our head and out through our nose. But anytime you notice a thought in your mind taking you from your breath, the next time you become aware of that thought, I want you to breathe it in to the back of your head. And then I want you to exhale it out through the right ear. So send that breath out through the right ear. So continuing to breathe in through the nose to the back of the head. And if you get distracted, if a thought takes you away, just notice that thought, breathe it in to the back of your head, and exhale it out through the right ear. Send that thought out of the right ear. And then return to your breath, in through the nose to the back of the head. Beautiful. All right. Take a deep, full breath in through your nose here. And a deep, full breath out. Bring your palms to heart center. And begin to set an intention for your practice to be an opportunity to step out of your mind and into your body. Release your palms all the way up towards the ceiling now, and then let the fingertips kind of curl towards your wrists. Begin to make some big circles through the wrists, moving in one direction through the fingertips. And then start to move the fingertips in the other direction. Beautiful. Now, slowly release that wiggle or the circles through the wrists, and then begin to bend at your elbows and find the block behind your head. Now, all we're doing here is we're just bringing the block to the second height here. So you'll notice the block is a little bit higher, and my chin is really softening towards my chest. So the bridge of that block should be right at the base of your head, the top of your neck. Now, as you find that nice spot, I want you to bring your palms either on your belly or down by your side. Make any final adjustments if you need to adjust the block in any way. But then see if you can start to just really allow the back of that head, right where it's connecting to the block, to be heavy. You may feel a bit of sensation here. And then ever so slightly, very, very gently, I want you to just begin to rock your head from left to right. And so just very, very, very gently moving the head and the nose from left to right. Now you may come across some highly sensational areas in your body. As you come across an area, whether it's to the left or the right, I want you to see if you can pause there. So you notice I'm pausing. I found a sensational spot as I brought my nose towards the left, and I'm just going to pause here. And I'm just going to wait. I'm going to breathe into that space. I'm just going to wait for that sensation to slowly start to release and soften. Feel that tension releasing, resolving, unwinding. Continuing to breathe, and then as I'm ready, once that sensation has moved, I'll start to move to the other side. Find a sensational point on the right side as I bring my nose towards the right. And just waiting here, breathing into the sensations that I'm feeling. Feeling any tension resolve, release, and soften. Beautiful. And then as you've done both sides here, you'll slowly come back through center, and then ever so gently you're going to reach for the block and then let the head come all the way down. Take a moment just to feel the back of your skull nice and grounded on the mat here. Bring your palms anywhere that feels good in your body. And then take a moment to allow the head to now rock ever so gently from left to right, massaging out the skull. Nice. All right, so we'll come back through center, reach your arms overhead, find opposite elbows here. Start to straighten the left arm as you bend the right elbow. Bring the palms towards the right. Come back through center and then off towards the left. See if you can do that maybe 3 times. Loosening up some of the areas in the arms. Nice. And then the next time you're back through center, forearms are right over the chest. You're going to take an inhale, frame the head, or reach your forearms overhead. With an exhale, bring the forearms towards your belly button. 2 more times. Inhale here. Exhale, forearms down. One more time. Inhale here. Exhale, forearms down. Beautiful. Bring your forearms back, stacked right over the shoulders, and then just switch the bind, and then start to bring your arms to the left now, and then to the right. Same thing here, just switching the bind, noticing this subtle difference of sensation. And then come back through center. With your inhale, frame the head. Exhale, bring the forearms down. Using your breath as your guide, inhale, arms reach overhead, framing the face. Maybe you smile. Exhale, bring the forearms down. Nice. One more time. Inhale here. And exhale. Beautiful. Release your palms down by your sides. Slowly begin to bend your knees if they aren't already, so that the soles of the feet are grounded down on the mat here. Now bring your palms down by your side, and then we're going to find some supine cat-cows here. So fingertips grounded down. On your next inhale, begin to tilt your pelvis forward. There's going to be a slight arc in your low back, almost like there's a rainbow there. And then as you exhale, start to tuck your tailbone, bringing belly button towards spine. So inhale, you're tilting the pelvis forward. Exhale, you are tucking. Inhale, tilt forward. Find that cow-like spine. Exhale as you tuck, find that cat-like spine. Very subtle. Not your deepest or fullest expression of cat-cow, just starting to massage out the back body and the tailbone. Beautiful. Nice. Now slowly bring your spine back through neutral. You're going to bring your right knee in towards your chest. Interlace your fingers around the shin, right below the kneecap here. And then first here, just start to make some big circles through the right knee. Moving the knee in one direction, maybe imagining that you are stirring a soup. It's that time of year, and soup is very nostalgic for me. It's something that my mom always made if I was having a bad day or maybe if I was sick, so it's very comforting. So every time I'm making circles, I like to imagine I'm just stirring this soup. So maybe you imagine or visualize something really nostalgic. You're just stirring around. And then drawing the right knee in here towards your chest. You're going to keep your palms right where they are. Keep your knee bent. With your next inhale, I want you to bring the knee in towards your belly. With your exhale, straighten your elbows, bring the knee away. Inhale, bring the knee in. Exhale, reach the knee away. One more time. Inhale, bring the knee in. Exhale, reach the knee away. Beautiful. Bring the knee in. Bring the palms now behind the hamstring. This time we're going to inhale. Begin to extend the leg up towards the sky. Maybe flex through the feet. As you exhale, bring the knee in towards your belly as you bend the knee back. Inhale to lengthen, extend. Exhale to bend. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend. This time, inhale, lengthen here, pause. Begin to make big circles through the ankle and the foot. Moving the foot in one direction and then the other. Beautiful. Nice. And then the next time you're back through stillness, take a deep breath in, pull the leg in towards your belly, keeping the knee nice and straight. And then as you exhale, slowly lower it down to meet the left. Take a moment just to notice the right leg versus the left, the sensations you're feeling. And then as you're ready, bring the left knee in, interlace your fingers right below the kneecap. Begin to make those gentle circles through the left hip, moving in one direction and then the other direction. And then coming back through stillness here. Keep your fingers right where they are. Take an inhale, pull the knee in towards your belly. Exhale, straighten the elbows, reach the knee away. Inhale, pull the knee in. Exhale, press the knee away. One more time. Inhale, pull the knee in. Exhale, reach the knee away. Beautiful. This time, next time the knee is in, bring your palms behind the hamstring, interlace the fingers. With your next inhale, now I want you to extend the leg up towards the sky, flex through the foot. Exhale, bend the knee. Bring it back towards your chest. Inhale here. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend. This time, inhale, lengthen, pause. Start to make those big circles through the foot and the ankle, moving in one direction and then the other. And then on your next inhale, pull the leg in just as far as feels good. And then exhale, slowly bring that left foot down to meet the right. Grounding down through both feet here. And just taking a moment to notice. Now we're going to come back to our pelvic tilts, and we're just going to add on from here. So bringing the fingertips down by your side. See if you can locate the tripod of your feet. So that's the heel, the big toe, and the pinky toes, and kind of ground down through that triangular shape of the soles of the feet. And then bring your palms down by your side. Now, we're going to start to untuck our tailbone. So we're going to start to tilt the pelvis forward. As you do that, inhale, reach your arms overhead. There's going to be a lot of space between your back and your mat. There's this cow shape in your spine. As you exhale, start to bring the palms down, tuck the tailbone, and start to press the feet in as you lift your hips. Inhale, slowly lower, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, tuck and lift. Inhale, slowly lower as the low back meets the ground. Untuck your tailbone, find that nice lift of the sternum and the heart. Exhale, tuck and lift. One more time. Inhale here, lowering down, reach the arms overhead. This time, exhale, tuck, lift, and pause. Beautiful. See if you can imagine a block in between your thighs. So squeeze those inner thighs together. Maybe you're walking your shoulders underneath your back, maybe even interlacing your fingers. And then imagine you're trying to tap your knees towards the wall in front of you. Draw your chin towards your chest, lengthen the neck here. Squeeze the glutes, ground down through the heels. Take an inhale, lift a little bit higher. Exhale to stay. One more inhale here. And exhale, slowly release everything down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Bring your knees into your chest. Wrap your forearms around the shins. Lift your forehead towards your knees. Make a ball of the body. Give yourself a big, big hug, a squeeze. Take a deep breath in and out. Slowly begin to rock and roll up and down your spine. Maybe 2, 3, 4 times. And then eventually you're going to cross at your ankles and come all the way into your child's pose. So bring your knees nice and wide and allowing the big toes to touch here. Beautiful. So from your child's pose, allowing your palms to reach out in front of you, bring the crown of the head or the forehead towards the mat here. And we're going to take a few rounds of breath. I want you to think about filling your lungs as much as you can here. Filling the lungs completely with that breath in. Emptying the lungs completely with that breath out. Now, bringing your attention back to that gentle visualization we had at the beginning of our practice. As we're in our child's pose, sometimes when we switch positions and we transition, the mind can start to wander and kind of get distracted from our present moment. So see if you can start to bring your attention back, breathing in through the nose, right to where your forehead meets the mat now. So finding that point of contact. Inhale through the nose to the forehead. Exhale from forehead back down through the nose. And anytime a thought comes in through the mind that takes you away from the present moment, see if you can start to just let that breath move out through the left ear now. So keeping your attention on that breath, that visualization. Anytime a thought comes in, breathe it in, acknowledge it, and then let it release out through the left ear. Beautiful. Start to feel the finger pads pressing into the mat. Lift the elbows slightly off. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, slowly come forward. Find your tabletop shape. Stacking your shoulders right over your hips. Grounding down through the left shin. Start to make some circles through that right knee. Move in one direction. And then the other direction. Beautiful. And then as you're ready, we're just going to step that right foot all the way through, coming into your low lizard lunge. Beautiful. So my palms are on the inside of my right foot. My left knee is down. If you need to, you can always support that left knee with a blanket if you have tender knees. Now from here, we're going to be moving through our kind of lunge to half split pulsation. So sometimes people like to have blocks underneath their palms just to bring the floor towards them. We're going to find our cat-cow spine as we do this. So as you inhale, I want you to start to broaden your chest, bring your elbows towards your belly button, gaze forward. As you exhale, start to flex the toes, straighten the right leg, and round the spine, bring chin to chest. Beautiful. Inhale, cow spine, lunge back into that right knee. Exhale for that half split, flex the toes, round the spine, chin to chest. One more time. Inhale here. And exhale.